Namaste, yogis. Taking a nice deep breath in, raise your arms, and as you exhale, come into a forward bend. Drag your hands towards you, hold onto your shin bones, and we're going to ride the camel. As you inhale, you're leaning back, dropping your head back, and as you exhale, drop your chin to your chest, and slowly come forward, lifting your chin. On the inhalation, you're leaning back. Find a nice even rhythm. Hold it. Straighten out your spine. Nice deep breath in. Exhale and fold. Sucking in the belly, tuck in the chin, relax your jaw. Walk both hands over to your left side using mirror image. And then walk both hands over to the right, breathing into that rib cage. Bring the hands back to the middle, and on the inhalation, come up into sitting, straightening out your spine. Bring the soles of the feet together for the butterfly. Bring the heels close to the perineum. Interlace your fingers around your toes. Feel a lengthening in the spine. And just gently bounce the knees up and down. Just be aware of that groin area. A little more advanced, you can use your elbows to press the knees down. Be gentle with the body, don't force. A little more advanced, bring your elbows in front of your shin bones. If you can bring your forearms onto the mat, bring the hands into prayer above the feet. Keep the belly tight, chin tucked in. And just follow the rhythm of the breath while you're working the knees down towards the mat. Inhale, coming up. Extend your right leg out to the side. We're just doing a little bit of a warm-up here. Breathing in as you come up and breathing out as you reach for the foot. So we're going for 5. And on the 5th one, we're going to hold it. Now reach for your foot. If you can't reach your foot, doesn't matter. Just reach in the general direction of the foot, but try and push your head through your arms, looking up at the ceiling, and breathe into that open rib cage. You might feel the stretch in the muscle between the lower rib and your hip bone. That's the QL muscle, the quadratus lumborum muscle. Very important muscle. It helps to stabilize the pelvis. Swap legs. Move your leg out to the side as far as you possibly can. And we're going for 5. Breathing in as you straighten out and breathing out as you reach for your foot. And the last one, hold it. Try and look up at the ceiling. Rotate the spine as much as your body will possibly allow. Keep flexing into the heel. Breathe into that QL muscle. On the inhalation, straighten out the spine. Just round out the back after a twist. It's always a good idea to round out the back to realign the vertebra of the spine. Lying flat on your back, holding your head. Just gently bounce the legs up and down. That'll release the fascia on the inner thigh. And on the exhalation, reach your arms between your legs, fingers interlaced, but straighten out the index finger. Pull the legs down towards the mat and make big circles with the ankles. Now it's important to try and keep the shin bone absolutely still. And by doing that, you'll be working the stabilizing muscles on either side of the shin bone. So you want to flex into those heels and point into the toes and then just hold it, but keep pulling the legs down towards the floor. Keep reaching forward, chin tucked right in. Challenge your core by reaching forward as much as you can. Bring your arms out to the sides, close your legs. Now we're going to swivel the hips from left to right, just warming up that lower back. Also works the oblique muscles. And it's the oblique muscles that pull the tummy in nice and flat. You really want to lift those hips. Now drop both legs over to one side. Try and keep the hips stacked and turn your head to look away from your feet. Try and bring the feet as close to your hand as you can. If you can't get your feet to your hand, just move in the general direction. Work that shoulder blade down and your head should be turned away from the feet. Both legs back to the ceiling, flex into the heels, swivel the hips again. Try and lift the hips and swing from left to right. Try and stack the hips, work the shoulder blades down, turning your head to look away from your feet. Try and push that top hip forward. Feet as close to your hand as you can get. Follow the rhythm of the breath. Bend your knees, bring your knees into your chest. Feel a stretch into the lower back. Bring your hands just behind your knees. Whip the feet down to come back up into sitting. Now part your legs in a wide V. Be aware of the inner thigh, the hip joint, and the lower back. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, reach for your toes. Using your index finger and your middle finger, wrap them around your big toe and pull your chest down towards the floor, chin up, chest down. Now if you can't reach your feet, just hold on to your shin bones, but try and get the chest down and lift the chin. Try and press the back of the knees into the mat. Don't force the body, be aware of your lower back. This is a hip opener, so be aware of the hip joint as well. Going into a squat, just round out the back. Try and keep the heels down so you feel the stretch in the Achilles tendon. Then come up onto the balls of the feet. Turn sideways. Now if you can, lift the knees. Balance your hands on your knees and feel the stretch over the top of the front of the foot. Suck in the belly, tuck in the chin and just hold the balance. Not a good idea if you have a knee issue. This is a hyperflexion of the knee joint, so please be very careful of your knee joint. Raising your arms above your head, exhale, fold, and come into down dog. The heels should just lift off the mat. If your heels are on the mat, reel the feet back till the heels just start to lift so you get a maximum stretch. Bring the shoulder blades together, chin tucked in, gazing towards your knees. Hands shoulder width, fingers spread with the index finger parallel to the outside of the mat. And try and work the heels down. The feet should be hip distance. Now step your feet together in the center line of the body, toes touching. Cross your one leg over the other, feet close together, and drop your hips to the side. Your right foot's on the outside of the left foot and you drop the hips to the left. Keep pushing your chest to your thighs. Bring it back to the center. And on the exhalation, take it over to the other side, dropping the hips. So now your left leg crosses over the right, feet close together, and you drop your hips to the right. Keep pushing your chest towards your thighs. You should feel the stretch across the ribs cage down the side of the body. Straighten out again into down dog, Ardha Mukha Savasana. Gazing at the knees, shoulder blades drawn together. Gently come down onto your knees, and as you exhale, drop your glutes to your heels. Lengthen into the arms, tuck in the chin. On the inhalation, straighten out your spine. Swing both feet over to one side. Now take the left leg, cross it over the right. Exhale and twist. Try and stack the shoulders, turn the head all the way, pull the knee into the chest. Both sitting bones should remain on the mat and try and push off that arm behind you. Wait for the exhalation. Swap legs, and as you exhale, twist to the other side. The Mariachai twist, named after a sage. Slightly more complicated twist. because this particular sage had to work really hard to aspire to being the best possible person he could be. Try not to lean back. Now we've twisted the spine, so it's important to just round out the back again to re-equilibrate the spinal column. Relax your jaw. The knees are flopped out to the sides. Bring your glutes to the middle of the mat. Gently roll down, come down slowly, challenging your core. Now keeping your knees bent, soles of the feet touching. Fold your arms above your head and walk your hands down your upper arm. Bring your chin down towards your chest. Relax the legs completely and breathe. Fold your arms the other way around. Relax your jaw. Relax your legs. Just allow them to hang heavy. Allow gravity to do the work for you. Keep the length in the back of the neck. Close your knees. Bring your arms down to your sides, palms facing down, feet and knees hip distance. Now cross your right ankle over your left and lift your hips and try and drop your right knee towards the mat. Chin down towards the chest, push down into the supporting foot. The pelvis will be slightly tilted. On the exhalation, lower the hips. Wait for the inhalation and then swap sides. Drop the knee towards the mat. The pelvis might tilt just slightly. Try and relax the shoulders. Push down into the supporting foot. On the exhalation, lower the hips. Draw both knees into the chest to realign the pelvis because it's been slightly tilted. Reach for your right foot. Get a nice grip around your big toe using your index finger and your middle finger. Using your left hand, press the left knee towards the mat. See if you can pull the right foot towards your ear. If you can't reach your foot, just hold on to the calf muscle. Go into the stretch on the other side. As you exhale, the body is always more pliant on an exhalation. Use your right hand to press the right knee down towards the floor. Try and pull the left ankle towards your ear. Now reach for both feet, keeping the tailbone on the mat. Try and straighten the legs and very gently rock from left to right. Keep pulling the feet towards your head. Now if you have the capacity, see if you can close the legs, keeping your tailbone on the mat, your chin down towards your chest and pull the legs towards your head. If you can't reach your feet, just hold on to the back of the calf muscles. Keep flexing into the heels. Draw both knees into the chest and very gently roll over onto your right side. Use your right hand to pull the leg down, straightening out the left leg. And then take your left arm back, turning your head to look away from the foot. Keep your ankle in line with the hip and try and stack the hips. Pull up the kneecap if possible on that straight leg. And the other knee is bent into the chest. Back onto your back. Keep the knees close to the chest. Straighten out the top leg, pin it down using your left arm. Float your right arm behind your back. Turn your head to look over your shoulder and try and pull that leg towards your ear. Bend both knees again, knees lying back on your back, knees into your chest, chin tucked in and lift your head. If possible, hold onto your ankles and really lift your hips, trying to arch the back. If you can't hold your ankles, just have your fingers pointing towards the heels, but make an effort to try and arch the back. This is known as the baby back bend. Draw those shoulder blades closer together, keep lifting the hips. Get as much of an arch in the back as you can. Lower the hips and draw both knees into the chest as a counter posture. Feel a stretch into the lower back. Now place your hands on your knees, and as you exhale, draw the knees into the chest, and as you inhale, push the knees away from you. As you exhale, you're pulling the knees in, and as you inhale, you're pushing the knees away from you. Get a nice rhythm to the breath. Wrap your elbows around your knees, pull the knees into the chest, lift the head, tuck in the chin, feel a rounding out in the back, in the embryo. Straighten both legs to the ceiling, reach your arms to the ceiling, lift your head, reach your shoulders. Now if you have a back issue, place one foot on the mat if your back is healthy. As you exhale, gently lower the arms and the legs in the dying bug. Interlace your fingers above your head, turn your palms away from you and flex into the heels. Keep the length in the back of the neck and breathe. If you need to wriggle the shoulder blades a little closer together, just wriggle them. Interlace your fingers again with the other little finger on the outside. And now flex into the toes, pointing into the toes. Draw both knees back into the chest. Bring your forehead to your knees, rounding out the back. Give your knees a nice tight hug. And release. Straighten out your legs, one leg at a time. Part your legs slightly. Allow the toes to flop out to the sides. Wriggle the shoulder blades closer together. Your chin down towards your chest. Palms facing the ceiling. And relax. With every exhalation, tell the body to relax. Keep a nice steady rhythm to the breath, breathing into that lower lung. Draw both knees into the chest and very gently roll over onto your right side in a fetal position, resting your head on your arm or your elbow. Cross the other arm across the chest, palm facing the ceiling. So the upper arm crosses over the Anahata chakra, conserving the energy into the body. Extend your leg, gently push away from the floor, come up into sitting, feel a lengthening in the spine. Namaste. Thank you for joining me.